Hi everyone, my name is Victor Martin, and today I'll be reviewing the new film Unsane, directed by Steven Soderbergh. So this film story is about a young woman who gets involuntarily committed to a mental institution, and there she has to confront her greatest fear. And the audience has to decide whether or not it is real or is it all in her head. So I was pretty excited to see this movie. I haven't seen much of Steven Soderbergh's work. I think the only film I've seen of his is actually Logan Lucky. Which I thought was alright. It was fine. I had some, decent expectations for this film, knowing that he's a pretty critically acclaimed director. And also seeing the writers, which, if you look at their, line of work, I mean, we're dealing with the writers here of Spy Next Door, Larry the Cable Guy, Health Inspector. So, I had some pretty high hopes for this film. I was like, okay, love the Spy Next Door, Jackie Chan, great Jackie Chan film. And then, Larry the Cable Guy, and oh, look at that, Lindsay Lohan and Chris Pine, just my luck. So I actually really enjoyed this movie. While the concept itself isn't all too original, I think the way Soderbergh approached it and directed it made this movie far more interesting than I think most directors, maybe independent directors, would have approached this script. Um, I think what also helped too was, surprisingly, the fact that it was shot on an iPhone. While, call it a gimmick, whatever, I think that it benefited in a way that I can't really describe all too well. You kind of have to see it to really kind of understand. You get a lot of really up close, like wide angle shots, and when we get to the mental institution fairly quick into the film, it makes the areas just feel claustrophobic and just very alienating. So I think it was a really cool and interesting choice to use the iPhone, and I'm completely for it. So there are a lot of things I liked about this movie. I liked Claire Foy. I've never seen her act in anything else before, but this movie I think she did a really good job in playing the main actress. Her portrayal of this tortured character is very convincing, and as the film progresses, it becomes more stressful for her and more just insane or unsane. You can just really feel the emotion in her expressions and her mannerisms, and I totally bought it. I feel she was a very, very good actress for this. So while I said the story itself wasn't all too original, it was still fairly intriguing to me. The film moved at a very quick pace as well. I was surprised with it. Jumps into the story's main conflict very early on into the movie, and it doesn't take long for things to get pretty nuts. And like his previous film, Logan Lucky, it has a bit to say about the way America handles certain things, whether it be health insurance or the way patients are handled at institutions. He very much likes to critique bureaucracy and capitalist ideas, and I don't find it to be too much of an issue because I think it's very appropriate for the film itself because it's dealing with such kind of a touchy subject, and for it to have some relevancy to its concept and story, I think it's appropriate, and I think it completely worked for me, and I didn't see it as an issue. And while the film itself isn't necessarily scary, the ideas and the situations presented in the film are horrifying in their own way. Hopefully people won't be able to relate to this film, but I think that it was made in the right time period, was the way some things are going nowadays. There is some relevancy there that I think people will kind of see and understand. So there's really not much about the movie I didn't like. I thought it did drag at a few points later on, towards the end of the movie. And there's one choice that a character makes that I didn't feel was very... I don't know, it just didn't really feel right to me. It just didn't seem like that would be something the character would have done, which, whatever. Also, the music was very minimal, but I don't know, it didn't work for me. There's maybe one track that I kind of liked, but it was just very odd. And there's also a freeze frame that was so strange, but it's not really an issue, just a nitpick, just a personal nitpick. So overall, I really enjoyed the film. I think you should go check it out for sure. It's directed very well, the acting's good, the story's intriguing, and there's some relevancy to its ideas and plot that I think was a good approach. I thought it was very appropriate for the film. So that's that. My name is Victor Martin, and I'll see you next time for our next review that should be coming up in a few days. So stay on the lookout for that. I will see you next time. Goodbye.